This is From Dirt We Grow, and as your host, Stephanie Kendall, I welcome you to join today's conversation. We talk a lot about politics, money, systems, but we don't talk enough about what those systems are actually doing to people mentally. I mean, anxiety is up, depression is up, burnout is everywhere, and yet, of course, we're told that it's a personal failure. So today I'm sitting down with a counselor to talk about what's really happening to people, not from social media opinions, but from what they are seeing every day behind closed doors. So today I'd like to welcome Christine. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited and looking forward to this conversation.
I think it's a conversation that needs to be had more often.
Oh, 100%.
Who do you counselor? How do you counselor?
I work across the lifespan. So I work with like kids, adolescents, adults. I specialize in like trauma, ADHD, anxiety, depression. I also like to work with other like healthcare workers, other therapists, life transitions, relationship issues, and even as a progressive therapist out there in this work, it's important for the profession to acknowledge what is happening and not sugarcoat or hide or all of the stuff that's not just in America but like across the world is affecting us as individuals, even if we don't necessarily see it or like it's obvious, but it does affect us day to day. And sometimes people people are removed from it, either like, well, they're not in my town, or they're, nothing's going on in my city, so it's not happening to me. And it's like, but it's like happening.
Do you see that affecting people? You're saying, yeah, well, it's not happening to me in my town, so it's not affecting them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Illinois, so like definitely there's been a lot of ice activity in like the Chicagoland area, and I work in areas where there is heavy presence of ice. I mean, there's definitely individuals who, it's like, oh, it's not happening to me, or like that's not in my community, but like I still feel a sense of community because it's like my state or my country. And there's privilege in white skin.
Say it again.
There's privilege in white skin. White people, it doesn't like, there's that sense of privilege of, well, I just get to go out in my life and do my normal activities, where people of color are more hyper vigilant.
What are the most common issues that you're seeing? We're neighbors, by the way. I'm in Wisconsin.
Oh,
Yeah,
Midwesterners.
yeah,
I will say that they are like, Midwesterners are built different.
yeah, right?
We are built different, folks. Like,
We're tough, right?
we're tough as fuck, man. Like,
We gotta be.
yeah, there is a camaraderie. Like, if anyone's from the Midwest,
Mm-hmm.
like there's a camaraderie with your neighbor. And we kind of talked a little earlier about privilege, and there's a lot of white people who are Midwesterners stepping up to the plate.
And I love to see it.
I love to see it. Like, it's about protecting their neighbors in their community.
Yeah, we have to. We have to stick together.
Yeah, and like, I think that even not only as like a therapist but a human, it's like we can't lose our humanity. We cannot lose our humanity in this.
So, what are you seeing as the most common issues right now for people coming to you?
Yeah, definitely there's a lot of anxiety, depression, trauma, like PTSD, like collective trauma, which, in, defining what that is, collective trauma is like community trauma.
Yeah,
It may not directly happen to you, but it's happening to your like community.
yeah.
It's happening to your neighbors, and it's impacting you because we are humans are meant to be social beings, and having a sense of community is what everyone strives to do. And when that sense of community gets broken, it's traumatic for people.
Hmm. Now, is trauma becoming normalized, do you think?
I think that we're acknowledging trauma when people talk about like PTSD. People think about like military, but it's like even small. I see trauma as like every person has a definition of what that is for them. There's no right or wrong in what someone finds to be traumatic, like witnessing a car accident or witnessing violence in your community or experiencing any type of abuse or violence. There are studies out there that it does affect the body. It changes the chemistry of the brain. And that's, you hear of like fight, flight, freeze. There's kind of another component called fawning, which is like more people pleasing, right? Like
Oh.
there's so many people who are people pleasers. There's a lot of clients that come in that I see that say, I'm such a people pleaser, I don't know what to do about that. Like I always have to say yes, or and people pleasing is like, well, if I make them happy, or if like I say yes to them, nothing bad's going to happen. And
It's a detriment to yourself, though, right?
absolutely. It's catering to other people's needs and not your own needs. So, there's a difference between like being of help or like assisting someone versus like giving yourself away or like not prioritizing yourself and putting yourself in the back seat.
You said that's pretty common now?
Yeah, I don't know what to do about this, or I don't like it, or I feel like, and people pleasing, can be directed to burnout. Like,
Hmm.
there's definitely people in helping professions, like in healthcare or caregivers or teachers. And, it's like if you think of like life as a whole, right? You're not just one part. If you have kids or if you have a spouse, and then like your job is to help other people, what room does that leave for your own self-care?
And what do you tell people in that situation?
It's about setting limits and boundaries of like what you can and are not able to do. And again, like when trying to make other people happy, it's like negating your own happiness in a way. Setting boundaries that are like feasible and reasonable boundaries, like realistic boundaries, things that are applicable to you. So, I mean, for example, I'm trying to think of a good one. Like, say someone takes like always asks for a ride somewhere. Like, it's kind of a small.
It can add up.
Right. It could add up. And of course, the other person is not going to be happy about that. Because, like, when you set boundaries, it's not for them. Like, it's for yourself and not for them. Like, if someone is a parent and they have kids, there's expectations like clean your room and do your homework. Those are not fun things to do, but those are things that need to be done.
As a people pleaser, I see that I cater to my children's, like, how happy they are. See that it's hard for me to tell them to do things that they don't want to do.
Consistency and repetition. Because once the boundary is out there, you have to keep it going.
You have to stick with it. Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Like it's not a one time thing. You are going to have to repeat yourself
Okay.
until you're blue in the face. Obviously, everyone is different in what time that takes, but like for people who have gone through life with always catering to others, and when they put up a boundary, it's going to be a lot of repetition. And that's when like therapy comes in. We got to keep this going.
Now we know stress obviously affects mental health.
Yep.
How much does the stress from money come? How much do you see that?
Oh my gosh. It is, I think that what people don't understand is how systems impact mental health. And if someone is constantly working paycheck to paycheck and there's instability, it's going to stress them out. It's going to lead to depression, anxiety, all of these mental health issues, even suicide.
Mm.
It's, hey, we got to get people affordable housing. We need to do better in our system. Like, people need healthcare, people need education.
People need stability.
Yeah, if you're worried about rent every month, do I get food? We don't have paid family leave. We don't have any gun reform. We don't have any immigration policy or system. We don't have these things. And even just like teenagers and adolescents are, they're exploring their worlds. Like, they may not come to their parents. And it's opening that door up. Like, look, like, you're not in trouble because you're feeling anxious. Going to a therapist is not a bad thing. When I used to do crisis work with kids, a lot of kids were scared that they are in trouble because we called someone out to respond when they said that they did, like, that they didn't want to live. And I validate, like, no one is in trouble. We're here to help you. We want to understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Parents too, therapists are here as a resource for parents. Think of your therapist as a resource in addition to,
Yourself.
yeah, right. Like,
Okay.
it's like, hey, we're navigating this time in my, I mean, there's no playbook of like
Yeah.
being a parent. There's no right or wrong. There's so many so many self-help books out there. Look, it's like, oh, I'm supposed to do what this book says, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, everyone is different. And
So is that more detrimental, do you think, that people kind of lean on these books?
I think that I personally am not a fan of like self-help books.
Mm, okay.
Like, unless if the exception is if it's written by a professional, right? If it's like the Real Housewives Guide to like a Happy Marriage, I'm like, guys, no.
Yeah, maybe not.
No, no. If it's like coming from a professional.
That makes sense. Have you seen a lot of defunding going on?
Yeah, the other day, of course, under our noses, right? Because that's how it works with like mental health is things just tend to happen under our noses. Um, SAMHSA, which is a government program that funds like addiction and mental health services. So they send money to states to help with addiction and mental health programming. That programming had its funding cut.
Now that I feel like that is detrimental.
Absolutely. Trump like terminated like SAMHSA grants for suicide prevention, overdose prevention, family recovery support, community-based mental health programming. So community mental health, like, these programs rely on these funds, and he terminated those funds.
And people rely on those programs.
Yes, especially those who are like on Medicaid, those who have lower income who cannot afford, the private services. This just happened, and it is going to cause a ripple effect. And a lot of these places can possibly close their doors. And what people don't realize, that our systems, and people talk about crime, right? People talk about how crime is bad, and it's like, here's the thing of how you reduce crime. This is free advice. Usually I charge people for this. um Start funding preventative programs. Fund addiction treatment, fund mental health treatment, fund after school programming, fund social service programming.
Fund the things that they're taking funding away from.
Yep. In Chicago, the mayor put extra funds and they have done a lot of great things with mental health where they put money into addiction programs, into community mental health programs, into preventative programs. And guess what happened? Crime went down in Chicago. The first time in 40 years.
That's very telling, isn't it?
Yep. And here's the thing is the media is not going to tell you that
Oh, no.
because not only is it a progressive policy to put money into those things, it is a progressive policy that is working.
Right.
I mean, crime is going to exist.
Yeah. How overwhelmed are people right now that you're seeing? Like right now?
So overwhelmed. There's, I work with people who are in the LGBTQ plus community. I work with people of color. Trans clients that I see are scared. They're scared. It's the rhetoric that's coming out against them. And people are just so easily influenced. It takes a lot of energy to hate someone than it is to love.
Realistically speaking, honestly, can therapy fix a toxic system?
I
That's tough, right?
it is I think it's a great question. And I think as therapists, we have to ask that question too. I think that there are definitely people who are breaking generational trauma, generational hurt, pain. What is interesting of what I'm seeing, because, like, I honestly work with, again, I work with everyone. I'm pretty open about who I am, like, as a person. And I do work with conservative clients. I work with people that support Trump. And look, like as a therapist, my job is to work with my client. I don't turn anyone away unless like the only reason is if like I don't work with the stuff that they come in with, but because there are times when it's like the dynamic is not working here. Maybe maybe you need someone who's maybe a little bit more aligned with your value system. It's nothing personal. It's like, what progress is going to be made if like someone feels guarded and like they can't be
Yeah.
their authentic selves, especially with their therapists. Like,
Right, right. That's the whole point. Do you do phone consultations at all? Are you in person or
I'm virtual, in person.
well, virtual, I mean, that's something that people doesn't have they don't have to be in the
Yeah,
area,
I mean, I
right?
will say virtual therapy is like a game changer.
Yeah. So how can people find you?
Life as a Counselor on socials. Follow me, Life as a Counselor. One of kind of the things I've been doing on my page is amplifying grassroots progressives that
Yes.
are running for office because we need it, guys. Like,
Thank you.
these are incredible candidates. They can win. We just got to get to the primaries. Like,
Yes, you heard it right here, folks. You know that's what I've been about lately. We didn't have this conversation. I didn't pay you to say this.
right, right.
This just kind of came up. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and a lot of my page too, like I do put resources of stuff on my page. So like it's actually sad to say, but like I did do a recent post about how to talk to kids about ICE.
Mm,
I got that from Nami in Minnesota, and it's like I can't believe I'm having to put this on here, but it's important for people to be informed and to know. Cuz like how do you talk to your kids about this stuff?
absolutely.
Again, like I do provide resources on my page on different mental health things.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate your input.
Mhm.
Everybody listening, please share this episode. This is a conversation that needs to be had more often. Follow Life as a Counselor, and we will see you right here next week on From Dirt We Grow.